Let's try this with the mic unmuted. How we doing today, everybody? Happy New Year. Sure I'll be singing that a bunch tonight. No one in yet, so I know I put this up a little bit later than I usually do. Sometimes I remember to put up that I'm in a stream, and sometimes I don't. And I'm starting a bit early today. I'm just waiting on everything to boot up. We get some music going for that. Oh, let's see what I got going on here. Hey, I see Pizza Boys in the chat. How you doing today? I'll say it again. Happy New Year, if I haven't said it yet to you. Actually free tonight? Oh, that's awesome. What do I owe this privilege to? No band rehearsal or anything tonight? I don't know why I just start fidgeting with everything that's on the desk when I first get started, just because I'm just waiting on this thing to finish loading. It's a long loading screen. I am back to Neo Geo for right now. We'll see how that goes. Happy New Year, thank you. Did you get to spend the holiday with anyone special, or did you just kind of relax, play any good games? I will note, this has been sitting on my desk ever since I was a teacher. I've had this. This is a red swing line stapler, which I was told they didn't make until the movie Office Space came out. But it's a miniature one. It's not a full-size one. It's kind of hard to tell on camera. It's called a swing line cub. That makes sense. My game's about done loading, so I'm going to have to switch this up here. We're going to see some gigapower action going on. There it is. Metal Slug. But in case you guys want to see the title screen, I'm going to go ahead and reboot that. There we go. Gotta see the title screen. Neo Geo Gigapower today. That isn't going to know at all. Metal Slug. Axe! I like that. I am still coughing a bit, so if I have to mute it, that's why. Checking it out here. Slept and played vinyl records. Well, I couldn't imagine... You know, that's exactly what I imagined New Year's of 2022 would be. Sleeping in, number one, but number two, playing vinyl records. I could have predicted that back in 1982. Yeah, I actually, the end of my self-imposed quarantine was actually New Year's Eve, so 10 days from when my symptoms started. Technically, it could have been earlier because I've gotten the shot, and the booster. So there was that. But of course, my dad's hip surgery, I didn't want to take any chances with that. This really looks like the first one. Is this just a rebrand of the first one? So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going over to my friend's house on New Year's Eve. I went over to my parents and we exchanged gifts on New Year's Eve. Then it snowed heavily here, so I didn't actually go anywhere on New Year's Day. Oh, we got some more comments in there. Sorry, I need to pay more attention to that. You believe you have the Metal Slug game on your Xbox and PSP? Yeah, the PSP one. I don't know if I have it or if I'm still looking for it. I have the Xbox. I'm sorry, the PlayStation 2 version, which is probably the same one you have on your Xbox, the Metal Slug Anthology Collection, unless you're referring to emulation. Because I do know a lot of people like to use that to emulate with. I'm looking forward to trying this. I think this is the last Metal Slug I have played. To be quite honest, I don't think there's any more. I played 5, and I played 5 Plus actually just a couple days ago. That's why the Neo Geo's hooked back up and the Super Nintendo's off to the side. I had to play some of the fighting games that I had yet to get through. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I agreed. I was just Like I said, so my entire vacation was pretty much spent here doing nothing. Well, not doing nothing. I ended up playing some live Xbox. I'm pretty sure I've already seen the screen, so I'm gonna stop capturing for a second. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, not doing nothing. I guess it was easier for me to, what's the word? It was easier for me to watch something than it was to play something, just because my consciousness level wasn't up to full spec. But I ended up playing and beating Serious Sam 4 during my self-imposed quarantine. If you guys notice I'm a little slow moving and talking today, you'll see a lot more times where I have to pause and think about what I'm going to say. But, yeah. It's because I am still suffering with constant fatigue. Today was my first day back at work, full day. And I did try to take it easy as much as I could, but it's still exhausting. I'll just have to get used to this until I completely recover from it. It wasn't this bad last time. Your Xbox bought in 2004, opened it, never powered it up, and it was modded. Oh, interesting. So you bought it in 2004 and it was already modded. Before its first time booting. Yeah, that's interesting. Hey! TI Cal 23.99. Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year. Am I going to check out that Metal Slug RTS? Oh, yes, I did hear about that. Sorry, I was going to say, I don't remember being aware of that, but yes, I did hear about that. I don't know. I like it better as a platformer. I'm intrigued to see what they come up with for RTS. I'm assuming that's real-time strategy. Right, we've heard that so many times. I'm definitely going to need some extra heroes. Difficulty is not MVS. Whoops. Oh, that's save. Back. Yeah, MVS is like the most difficult. I'm okay with default configuration. Not accessing a save file. Let's see how to play. Oh, let's see how to play it. I should capture that. Usually works out better when I try to explain controls if you can actually see it as I explain it. Although I've yet to really make it to that point. 3 Tomb Raider games are free on the Epic Store. I'll have to take a look at that. See, you guys always know about this before I did. Or was it 2? Did the modding yourself? Interesting. Okay, so it wasn't that you bought it and you didn't know it was supposed to be modded. That's the way that I took it when you type it in like that. Arcade games have a specific level of annoying sounds that I think is to grab your attention, and it is exceptionally annoying to hear them when you're not the one playing the game. So I do feel that. All right. Well, if you guys, I should also ask TI Cal. I was asking what games you guys were playing over the holiday season. Speaking of modding, I did get this little guy. I haven't done anything with it yet. It was just sitting in this clear view thing. This is a Xbox. That's not USB. That's an Xbox plug on one end, and it's a USB on the other. And I had to grab a green flash drive. And apparently, this is useful in modding, soft modding, your OG Xbox, which I do plan to do. The problem, the thing that was holding me up is, one, I ran out of money, and I want to replace the hard drive with an SSD. So I'm going to have to wait till I can buy an SSD for it. Basically, I'm out of money for a little while. I'll tell you guys a little bit about that. Uh-oh. Am I buffering? Okay. It'll fix itself out. But let's go ahead and get started as we go through. Playing Final Fantasy XIV, same as always. You know, have you heard the rumors about that, TI Cal? It's not really a rumor that's going around with everyone. There's a YouTuber that I've heard this from basically say that they feel that Final Fantasy XIV is going to be the trial grounds for all of Square's NFT and digital currency changes they want to make in the next year or so. I really do hope not, but I can see them, like, that's a trial zone, so if it works there, they'll try it and everything else. Basically, they want to make that their metaverse. From what I've heard. That's a rumor, not something that's been. Your Xbox is hard modded. Yeah, I would expect nothing less for that. The hard mod is the better one, but it is just that. It's hard. So you guys will see me. I play this like a guitar. I hold it up against me and just strum it. But unfortunately, after a while, this will kill my hand doing it this way. It's better to set this on a counter. Okay, this is definitely not the first game. All right, monkey. Hey, hey, we're the monkeys. No more monkeying around. I don't know why that song popped into my head. That song's before my time. Just remember. Okay, good. Oh! I do like that all the character deaths are the same sounds I would make in real life as I die in the video game. Ooh, I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to avoid them by doing this. Ah. I can't get back up there, can I? Oh, I can. What? Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah, I like that. I like it while it lasted is what I should say. Oh, good. I like how when you explode the tower, it also explodes the bombs that came out of it. That can't be the end already. These levels are usually longer. You get to ride a robotic camel? Oh, I don't know how I was supposed to avoid that. Give me the turkey legs. Oh no, there's a baby crawling. Do I shoot the baby? Oh, get off the camel. Off the camel. There we go. Alright, into the Metal Gear. That's what I want now. This thing puts the metal and gear into Metal Gear. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. Oh, geez. Bigger tank. I have a feeling I'm going to... Oh. Oh, why? Sorry, I threw a little Rey Mysterio on you for some reason. Oh, why'd I jump forward all of a sudden? I didn't mean to do that. Oh. You know what I should be doing? I should be throwing these bombs. There we go. I can get underneath this guy, and... Oh! He thought he was gonna get me. He's trying to get me. There it is. Got it.
Mission complete. Mission.
You can tell.
Start.
I don't know why. It bugs me that the select button is the pause button on the Neo Geo for some reason. Alright, let's check up on the chat here. Not sure why people are running with that story. The CEO just mentioned he's open NFT in general, not specifically Final Fantasy XIV. You know, I thought the same thing, T.I. Kyle. That's why I was wondering if you had heard anything about that, because I have the feeling they wouldn't have announced it that soon. Probably will be in their mobile games and the like. Oh, absolutely. Could you imagine if you're actually spending real gil in the real world? I could imagine. I actually thought to myself, if that's not a digital currency, then there shouldn't be any digital currency. Still prefer the turn-based combat of Final Fantasy 1 through 10. Well, if you're going through single player, yes. Absolutely, I like that. Although Final Fantasy 13 did it in a unique way that still made it interesting. That paradigm shift mode in Final Fantasy 13. Say what you want about the game's story and the linear aspect of it. I really like the paradigm system. And they didn't completely screw it up in Final Fantasy 13 too, but they completely screwed it up by Final Fantasy 13 3. Never cared for 12, but you played it. 12 was hard for me to get through, actually. I had to sit down on like 4 different occasions and just try to beat through that game. And each time I get so far, and then I lose interest. But it is, the battle system, you're right, is designed similar to what they wanted. I think 14 started as, or maybe it was the same as 11 at the time. So I can get that. I've only played Final Fantasy 14 maybe 4 or 5 hours, whatever the free trial was way back in the day. Hey, Jamie, welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you as well. We're just talking about games that we were playing over the holidays. I am still recovering, although today was my first day back at work, recovering from what I can only assume. I didn't actually test and get it officially confirmed because I was sick. I couldn't leave the house. Pretty sure I just had my second bout with it. Hey, Dad, welcome to the stream as well. Received your Player One Start mug in the mail and enjoy some hot cocoa yesterday. That's awesome. You know, I was going to switch shirts into my Player One Start shirt, but it's still dirty. It's in the laundry right now. So maybe if it gets out of the dryer before the end of the stream tonight, maybe I'll switch shirts and put it back on. I wore the heck out of that shirt since I got it. And of course, all of my family members got a Player One Start t-shirt in with their Christmas gifts. So yes, it does make a great gift. Even though there's a couple people who said that they would wear it, even if it weren't for the channel, it's just a neat shirt. So that was a very good compliment. But I guess I should plug the merch now. There's a link in the description if you guys want a mug or a shirt like Dad and I have. If you want to be one of the cool kids, all the cool kids, get merch through my link in the description. Turn-based Final Fantasy guy yourself. 14 is your all-time top favorite game. Been playing it 8 years straight. So that's interesting. Like I said, I only played it when it first came out, and I heard there was a whole bunch of bugs on it. I forgot what I played it on. It wasn't the PlayStation 3. But I want to say it was PC, but I didn't really have a PC capable of running it. I can't remember. I honestly can't. I want to say it was console, but I don't remember which console it was on. And I didn't own an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One back in the day. Probably PS4. Plenty of contenders for number 2. Final Fantasy X, River City Ransom, Mario World, Link to the Past, Blazing Lasers. Nice. You like 12? Yeah, 12 is neat. The only reason why I didn't get through it was because of the story. It's a neat, involved, unique world. But I feel like if you played like Vagrant Story and Tactics, you would get more of the story. I kind of found the story confusing in 12. Adrian, welcome to the stream, by the way. Only experience with Final Fantasy is getting 12 out of the library when you were like 7 and being confused out of your mind. Yeah, that's no joke, Adrian. That's about my experience with 12 when I first got it, although I should remember that you can check games out of the library. Our library, I don't know if it has games, but they definitely have movies, and I need to quit. I need to actually go up there and check out a DVD if it's not available on any of the streaming stuff I have. Did power level yourself in 12 with your party on auto mode. Ran it for like 70 hours back in the day. 12 is fun. Beat it a few times. Just like the turn-based ones more. Okay. You might be thinking of the 1.0 version. That was PC only. It could be. When you Circuit 2010, yeah, I still would have been on my Windows laptop back then. And my Windows laptop had an awesome video card for the time. Oops. It had, It had 16 gigabytes of RAM back in 2008. And no, that was not cheap. No, wait, it wasn't 16. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, we're going to continue. It had 4 gigabytes of RAM back in 2008. And the graphics card, I want to say, had... Was it a gig? See, now it's been so long, I'm forgetting what the thing was. It was an Intel Core 2 Duo. Up, here come the mummies. Remember, it's an Intel Core 2 Duo, dual-core processor. Oh, thank you. And... Oh. Oh no, they have mummy dogs! And they screech when you kill them! Why is that so sad? I don't like that they screech when you kill them. It's very distracting. Of course, they can turn me into a mummy just by, yep, look at that. They did it. Hit me again and I'm dead. Okay, there's a pig. Oh, here we go. You see the guys up here. Oh, I'm human again. I have flame. And I have oh.
Shotgun.
Chicken. Whoop. That always turns somebody back into a human? I didn't even know that was possible. Leave the human. Oh, I was gonna say leave the human spray. I really don't like that they screech when you kill them. That's just so sad. Yep, and those things are out to kill me. Like a treasure. I was gonna say there's a treasure chest up there I want to get. No. Bad dog. Oh, whoops. Oh. I need something to make me human. Ah, you followed me. Oh. Oh, that's a nice brick. Yep. This guy takes a lot of shots for some reason. Oh! That nonsense. How did that bat survive? Survive no more. Okay. I feel like this would be easier to control if I was using a controller.
Shotgun.
Zombie dogs are really making me sad.
Lane shot. Okay. Shotgun.
This gameplay is almost identical to one of the other ones I just played. In terms of how they introduce zombies in this stage. Almost like I've played this one before, but then again, they're all starting to run together to me. Oh, Kitten. Oh! Okay. Oh, don't try to save the kitten. Oh. Am I supposed to be shooting this thing? Yes. I can't shoot and jump at the same time. Bad robot dog thingy. I don't know what this R thing is, but I'm gonna try it. Cannon? Do that. Whoops, what did I just do? Oh, I somewhat abandoned my thing that I didn't mean to abandon. Jump. Oh, geez. Don't know what that thing's doing. I don't like it. Like that better. Oh! I can't move. I cannot move. What they need, there's something to let you know that you have
Mission complete.
won. So that when you stop moving, you don't think it's a game glitch.
Mission 3. Start.
Alright. Sorry. Apparently my spacebar is also muting my video on the screen too. Alright, let's take a look at the chat here. My experience with Final Fantasy is getting 12 out of the library. I already read that. 2010. Have an import Switch. Final Fantasy 7 and 8 with a physical copy. I did see... I don't think you have to import that, do you? I've seen that for sale. Maybe they are importing it. This laptop will be upgraded to 64 gig of RAM soon to overkill it. Oh, 32 gigs of RAM is overkill. There's nothing on this earth that uses 32 gigs of RAM on a consumer laptop. Now, if you had a workstation with some CAD software or data analytics, I could see. But definitely for gaming, 16 gigs is great, 32 is overkill. To complement your RTX 2080, well, yeah. More RAM is never overkill, TI Calisa, so I should have read that before that, but that's one of the things I try to teach my students that work on our help desk is don't overdo it on the RAM. Because I overdid it on the RAM back in the day. 4 gigs of RAM for a Windows Vista laptop was ridiculous. It was not worth it. Already have 5 terabytes of SSD and HDD storage internal. Okay. 3 terabytes of SSD and 2 terabytes of HDD. Well, I have 32 terabytes on my home server, so that's all HDD. I have some SSD cache to make it run faster. The HDD now stores random files. I should have said hard drive instead of HDD, but I just read it out. A controller offering more control? I'm shocked. Yes, exactly. Use Xbox One controller on your PC? Yeah, I also do that as well, and that's actually why I have a lot of Xbox One controllers now. I don't want to say a lot. I have 3 of them for sure, and then I have the Elite that came with my Series X. Just because they're so versatile, they can do everything. Hey, KLJ88. Hello to you as well. Happy New Year. Montrose Ross, by the way, hello. Sorry, I blew right past your comment because I thought you were already talking. Happy New Year to you. We're just talking about what games we have already played over the holiday. I know nothing about the Switch, thought it was region-free. Is it region-free? I thought it was. I think all consoles now are region-free. I know the PS3, starting with the PS3, all the PlayStations have been, which has been great. And that's a topic I still need to address sometime on here. Is... I want to showcase the games that I decided to import from Japan on my PS3. Because it's region-free, and there are some games that are exclusive to Japan that I think are worth importing, which is why I imported them. Oh, sheesh. He just use a whip? Now he's eating broccoli? He's eating broccoli because he needed to lose weight. Yeah. Aw. See, I'm not intentionally making the same sound, it's just my natural mode of thinking. Could turn this into MVS mode so I can have unlimited credits. What was I thinking? How did I move and it still tracked me? Do those home in on you? And what did I step on there? The key thing is just to speed through these areas where there's too many enemies to go. Nope, can't get them. Grab the piggies. Oh, that screen move was a bit jarring. You know, power-ups that only give you points should just be abandoned. The only power-ups I want are things that give you health. Like these turkeys, I'm pretty sure all they do is give you... I have the feeling, yep. I don't know if you guys can hear how loudly I'm clicking the controller, but it is quite intense. Ooh. Well, I like that at all. Use a lot more time with that heavy machine gun. There's the bad guy. I don't like how my... Ooh. Oh, okay. So the smoke is good, and the flames that shoot out of it are bad. Let's go to this guy. Do any of the characters have different abilities? I really don't think it matters, does it? This guy dropping tanks on me? There we go. Oh, that's not the final boss. I thought it looked like it. Excuse me. Oh, you know what? I got confused on who I'm supposed to be. Because I switched characters, I was looking for the wrong one. How come they get a shot off before I even get a chance to shoot at them? Hang on, gonna cough again. See, that's supposed to shut off my camera. You guys can't see me struggling to breathe when I cough. But instead it shuts off the, Ooh, an airplane. I'll take the airplane. Any day of the week. Might as well just cough on screen. That's right. Just keep going. Just keep flying. Just keep flying. Excuse me. You guys ever sick for so long, you always think to yourself, oh, I took for granted those times when I could breathe uninhibited. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh. Shoot those things? Nope. Gotta get out. 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 Ejector seat it. Okay. Hopefully we got something good for me. What's throwing me off now is the controller. See, I'm gonna switch back to this guy. Why not the female character? Well, I do not identify as female. Ooh, jeez. Is that it? I think we got it. Beat 3 levels. 64 gigs of RAM, 4 terabytes of NVMe storage. Yeah, right. Don't make me come after you guys for wasteful spending.
Mission complete.
Only play PC, refuse to play most games unless they support controllers, so you have to have an Xbox controller. So you like controller on PC, so you just like the console experience, but you like paying a lot for it. I'm being facetious. That's awesome. I really wish I could afford to be a PC gamer. PS2 emulator. Oh yes, you mentioned that before. I see Pizza Boy. You still use an optical drive? How come you just don't just rip the discs? Plan to make a custom Series X controller that's from that MS site that lets you customize controllers. Nice. Well, I guess, yeah, the FPS is going to be... You do prefer FPS and RTS games on keyboard and mouse. Yeah. First-person shooters. I thought you meant frames per second. Really? I don't know. First-person shooters, I think I play better with a mouse. I have better aim with a mouse. But that is coming from a perspective of, you know, the days of Quake and Unreal Tournament, all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm not talking about Call of Duty and all the rest of them. But I am more accurate with a mouse. Yes, the boss that drops tanks on you. Now, third person, I do prefer controllers. Oh, okay. Third person games. If it's a video game, I prefer controllers. Right. Well, I think it's kind of interesting. Doesn't the Xbox Series X allow you to use a mouse and a keyboard? Makes me wonder how those bot assist enabled mouses will be able to be... what are you thinking of? I can't think of my words I was trying to think of. How are they going to mitigate that, basically, is what I was going to say. GTA 5, use a controller, run the game on the highest settings. Nice. Still no reason not to pick one. Hey, Future Cop. What did I think of Cyberlip? Interesting game. I had to think about it for a second. That was the most productive cough I've had all day, and it was basically just me clearing my throat. I thought it was okay. Neat game. I mean, it is what it is for the Neo Geo. If you're asking if I prefer which game, I would prefer Metal Slug over Cyberlip every day of the week. But I don't know if that's a fair comparison or not. Sometimes the creative direction of this game just gets me. Oh my gosh, somebody's on fire.
Heavy machine gun.
Oh, I ate too much food, now I'm fat. I did think that would be an interesting game concept, but I don't know. Oh my gosh, the bombs are coming from everywhere. I think this is going to be the last level, guys. I don't know if I can... Yep. I don't know if I can make it much further. I keep trying to, See? They know exactly where I'm going to jump. I think that's it, guys. A lot of credits. Can't put in any more credits. Yep, that was a good run. You gotta figure out what I'm gonna save over. I'm not going back to Samurai Showdown 2 anytime soon. Save over that. Because yes, there's a memory card to this thing. That was fun. And what I am gonna do is I'm gonna get out of that. Oh, I can select a mission after that. Nice. Well, good thing I saved then. Alright, I gotta think about what else I still have to play. I should have figured this out beforehand, but I did not. I see Pizza Boy said, I will be at WWF Raw in 3 weeks. It's the Royal Rumble. Go home. The Rumble Go Home Raw show. Nice. Is that going to be... So, you're going to be at Raw. I was just about to ask, since it's a Royal Rumble. It's the Royal Rumble Go Home Raw show. Oh, okay. So it's the one right after the Royal Rumble. Is that what I'm hearing? I do know a little bit about... It's going to be the next... I don't think I've played this one. I don't even know what it is. I have not. Let's try this one. I have no idea what this is. I'll let that let up. It's considered a beat-em-up. The show before the Royal Rumble. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, sorry, I don't really have a lot to talk about other than what I've already said. The game that I played mostly over the thing was Serious Sam 4. Had a lot. Oh, that didn't take long to load at all. In case you're curious, I will reload the title screen so you guys can see it. Finger over the button. 20XX. I like how I always do that. Reminds me of Mega Man. XX. This is not Metal Slug anymore. Plum. Near 20XX, the city has become a slum. That was creepy. Mutation Nation. Well, the good news is it definitely looks like a beat-em-up. Doesn't it look like it hard resets to go back to this screen? I get to see Brock Lesnar. He's now the WWF Raw champ. Kind of funny because I know who he is. He's coming up on 20 years of wrestling, isn't he? He's been wrestling for more than 20 years. It's a great game, Future Cop. I'll take your word on it. I have never played it. It's just one of my backlog that I have to get to, so I'm getting at it. I am going to say this because this is a very controversial statement. I should probably wait till I start streaming because this is a topic I wanted to address on the stream. Just because I wanted to see what your guys' thoughts are on this. I heard somebody talk about... Now, Game Pass has been a huge influence on this channel. It's only because of you guys that I even got Game Pass. It's because of one specific viewer that I even got an Xbox Series X. So, I feel like that was the same preview. The title screen reminds me of the title screen on Streets of Rage 2. It's probably meant to look like it. The only options I get is... Alright, so let's see how to play. That's punch. That's Is that jump? That's jump. I can charge up my punch. Do I have a kick? Here we go. Spirit attack, explosion attack, thunder god attack. What's that? Okay. That went way too quickly. I do like that up is not jump. Oh, okay. Pick that up. There we go. Okay, I have to wait to fully charge that before I can launch it. Okay, there's kick, but I don't know how I'm kicking. I have to press both A and B to kick. C and D do nothing in this game. This is a 2-button fighter on a 4-button controller. Gotcha. Nice sprite scale in there. I feel like I'm kicking that guy in the nads a bit too much. Oh. Oh, that was disgusting. All right. It's interesting that they don't just die, they evaporate into a pool of ooze. And again, it is Mutation Nation. The backgrounds on this game looks very detailed. The heck? Oh, you know what I probably should have been doing? I probably should have been charging up my whatever attack. I forgot what these are, but apparently... Come at me, bruh. Oh, this is kind of like a... It's kind of like R-Type, where if you hold your charge too long, it'll recharge on its own. You can't just hold it indefinitely. Sad. I mean, so far, it's not bad. I definitely feel like I'm playing this like in the arcades in the early... Oh, jeez. Okay. Of course, I say that now. Alright, this guy's like a mutated Sonic the Hedgehog. Ugh. I don't like it when they explode into a million pieces. Pause this for a second. That title screen reminds me of Street Rage 2. Oops. Haven't cared about wrestling since The Undertaker started winding down his career. See, Kyle, I'm kind of in the same vein as that, but it is nice to hear about wrestlers that I used to know about. See The Undertaker versus Yokozuna. A house show. Nice. Hoping Raw will be good tonight. I like how you keep capitalizing the F to draw attention to that. Because you refuse to call it WWE. Hey, SNES, welcome to the stream. Neo Geo was nothing special. What? It was something special. Because everybody's special. It was nothing special. The cartridge was the size of the Genesis. Yeah, just about the Genesis 2 for sure. The Model 1, I don't know. The Model 3 Genesis was definitely smaller than these cartridges. I should do that comparison. Oh. So of course the graphics are going to be good. Well, yeah. But here's the thing. Other than the fact that they have more memory to work with, I've actually posed the question I plan on posing and I want to answer in my 16-bit war is this system more capable than the Super Nintendo, thanks to the time that they had to work with it? Because this was designed in 1989 and released in 1990. There we go. Released in the US in 91, I guess. but it was meant to be in the arcade, so it's much more expensive hardware. The Super Nintendo was designed in 1990-ish, released in 90 and 91. So, okay, so I guess he automatically kicks if I try to punch while I'm jumping. Oh, sorry. See, there I was touching my face again. These mutants know all about I'm not supposed to be touching my face. So your face can't itch during this game. Alright. Oh, I thought that killed me, but oh, I have a different power-up. Nice. How'd that guy survive the whole electrical screen that I just did? Oh, speaking of electrocutions. I am very grateful to be here today. There we go. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Oh, okay. You did? Nope. Oh, he just mutated. So I went. It snowed here on New Year's Day, and we didn't get what they were calling for. They were calling for. Oh, still disgusting. They were calling for like 5 to 7 inches of snow, and I think based on what I saw outside, we probably got about 3 or 4, which is still a significant amount of snow. But I had to shovel off my. Yeah, that cost me a lot of life. I had to shovel off my driveway because I got out my snowblower. I have an electric snowblower, and it's corded because the cordless ones don't have a lot of what do they call it? I don't think they have enough oomph to get through the snow. And thank goodness I remember to put on my gloves because I started the thing, and after walking down the driveway, I noticed, man, it feels like I felt a tingling sensation in my hands. If you guys know where I'm going with this, like I said, thankfully I had my gloves on because that's a 15 amp motor. It takes a special cable, a special extension cord to plug that thing into because of how big the amperage on the motor is. Ooh. There we go. Did that get him? And yes, if I had been, it was going right through the metal bar that you're supposed to hold together to get the thing going. So yeah, I almost got electrocuted today. The way I describe it is I wouldn't be here right now. I'd still be laying in the driveway, but the twitching probably would have stopped by now. It's like one of those insane little things. Oh, is that it? I don't get to continue? Oh, I do. There we go. I was gonna say, what kind of crap is that? That's just one of those little things. That company, I think the warranty is expired on it, but I'm definitely going to see about either trying to get it fixed, or I may just take it apart to see where the electricity's coming from. Basically, it was going to run 15 amps of current through me. But the only thing I felt, because I was wearing gloves that are insulated and actually had a rubber on the outside, not enough to keep the electricity all the way out. If I would have kept holding it down, it probably still would have shocked me. But the problem with that is there's a safety release bar to where if you do like get into trouble, it's supposed to if you let go of it, it'll stop running. The problem with electrocution is your hands will clamp up around it. So yes, I don't know why, but it was not a cheap snowblower. It's about 3 years old, but I've only used it 4 times. I checked the extension cord. There were no cracks in it or anything, so it's only about when I started getting halfway down the driveway did I realize that it was shocking me. That's probably why my hair is sticking up right now, if you see that. So yeah, I had to, with the fatigue and everything, I had to actually shovel out my driveway this morning. Oh. Crap. Crap. Speaking of electrocution. That's right. That's the same. I'm only getting one hit with that. Oh, that would make a good video for Oh, darn it. Of course. Got suckered in to a false sense of security thing in the game wanted to help me. What are these things? I gotta be honest with you. Right now, I'm just so happy not to be playing any more fighting games. The fighting games on this platform are good, but good lord, I'm not a fan of fighting games to begin with, but I just played about 50 of them right in a row. Of course. No high score that time. Yeah, I was gonna say, can I grab that? That's what I want. I like that move. I really do. I shouldn't be wasting it on little peon enemies like this, but we'll be doing that. And by the way, if you guys don't know things about electricity, first off, if it crosses your heart, it pretty much kills you. And it only takes a half an amp of current to stop your heart. I was thinking about this all day, like, think about it. How stupid would that have been? I tried to snowblow my driveway and I was getting electrocuted. I would have been laying out there, no one would have seen me. All because I wore gloves. Ooh, jeez. Is the only reason why I'm standing here, sitting here right now. Telling you about, oh yeah, I almost died today. Not... Okay, this lady's got killer bee boobs. More like a killer bee abdomen, but... Yeesh. This is only stage 2, and stage 2 has taken up most of my... Oh yes, and in case there wasn't enough, there's a time limit. You know, if you survive at this boss without beating it in 90 seconds... Good grief. Did he offend you too? When you were a kid, thought the Neo Geo was cool. Oops. We're definitely going to pause that so I can catch up on the chat. When you were a kid, you thought the Neo Geo was cool, even if you had the money. See, I'd never heard of the Neo Geo as a home platform. I thought it was exclusively an arcade thing. Until I read the Ultimate History of Video Games by Stephen L. Kent. Did I realize that there was a home system. And even then I thought to myself, oh, I'll never own one. Just goes to show you never know. You were a kid, I thought the Neo Geo was cool. Even if I had the money, I still had enough sense in 1990 to say, that's too much for one game console. Nice. $600, that is? Oh, yeah. Back in 1990, you know how much $600 was? You could almost buy a brand new car for $600. No, not that much, but... in 1990s, $20 was a fortune to me. And then again, in 1990, I would have been 4 years old. 1991, I was 5. SNES always had ways to outperform the Neo Geo with the extra CPUs and helper chips inside. See, that's what I'm saying. The first thing I was thinking of Icy Pizza Boy is it could actually, even without the helper chips, it could have rendered some polygons. This thing has no way of rendering polygons. Absolutely none. You can write whatever you can on there to make it fake that it's doing it, but there's absolutely no way to render 3D polygons on this thing. From what I understand. Yes, you can do some hardware trickery to make it look like it's doing it, but in the end, that's all you're doing is making it look like it can. Only half inch of snow there? Well, I am the Icy Pizza Boy. But then again, you guys caught the storm way after us, because you're east of Illinois, aren't you? A lot of the dumping happened up near Chicago, and a lot of it actually happened south of us, too. We kind of got in between. Infamous Brandon and Albert Wesker. Hey, Player One Start, how you doing today, my friend? I am doing quite well. Thanks for joining in on the stream. How are you doing? Happy New Year. We're playing some Neo Geo today. I'm trying Mutation Nation. And to me, I'm actually letting my hands, because I told you, I have two ways of playing this. Either I can play this while it sits flat on the desk, like this, or I can play it like a guitar, where you hold it up against you, like this. And no joke, I got the idea to play it like this due to the advertisements. You don't have to have the shelf built into you like I do. You can play this. You can play it like a guitar. I wish I had some straps that would actually keep my hands from going numb a little bit, because I have to also hold it against me. So, but one of the ads that I saw, actually the ad I showed in the 8-bit war at the end, when I previewed what I'm going to do for the 16-bit war, the ad that I show on there, it says something, it's got like this half-naked woman sitting on a bed, and it said, "I wish he would touch me that way," and it shows the guy in the background holding the controller like this and playing it. It's something kind of neat. Hey, Chris, welcome to the stream. Happy 2022, and Happy New Year. There we go. You guys are going to see me space out a lot because I am still enormously fatigued from the illness. First day back at work today went okay. I'm not going to say I did not notice that I was fatigued at work. It's definitely an experience. Western side of Lake Erie. Well, Lake Erie is the farthest east, so right? Yeah, Erie's on the east, and then it goes. But you're basically towards Ohio. That's what I was getting at. I'm good, and Happy New Year to you and your family. And hi and word in the chat. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. You play any interesting games over the holiday season? One of the games, because I wasn't able to attend our family Christmas, what I ended up doing was I set up, just like I do on here on the stream, we played Fibbage over the stream. So all my family was able to go on a cell phone. They were able to see me on the TV because I was streaming to them. So that's why that's what I was able to do. It was kind of neat. I've never done a live stream to my parents before, and my parents figured it out. I was very proud of them. And it made me feel like I was able to participate in the family Christmas, even though I was stuck here. Wasn't feeling that great either. But gotta love technology. Gotta love technology. Toledo, Ohio. That's okay. Ohio is all you need to say is Ohio. When you mention anything, I know where Toledo is. I've actually driven through Toledo, long time ago. But anyway, it's just like saying I live in the middle of Illinois. I don't say the town because nobody's ever heard of the town, and you know, I like this relationship. I don't want to ruin it by having you guys come over. We need to socially distance, right? But anyway, I'm halfway between the capital of Illinois and, well, maybe not even halfway. We're closer to the middle of Illinois than halfway. It's about an hour and 10 minutes to Springfield. It's about 2 hours and a half. 2.5 hours. And if you hit Chicago traffic, it's like 4 hours. But we're about 2.5 to 4 hours from Chicago. Oh, I didn't change the year? Oh, of course. I'm going to be doing that for the next few weeks. In case you guys didn't go back in time, it's not a time machine. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for ruining that for me. Can I change it? I'm going to change it. I don't know if this is going to break anything, but I'm changing it now. I just love 2021 so much, I'm going to do it all again. How about not? I will say this, 2021 wasn't bad. For me personally. 2021 was not bad for me personally. I could have done without the Betty White ending. I really could have done without that. And it actually inspired me. If I ever had a chance to make a video game, I would put her in it, and I would give her a machine gun. And that's what I would call it. Betty White with a machine gun. That's all you need. That's all you need to sell the game. And if anybody else wants to make that game, I will take a royalty. And because I know more about Betty White than I probably would care to admit, it would be a game where she is fighting against animal abusers, because she was sometimes said that she preferred animals to people, and I can identify with that. So she's fighting Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic with a machine gun. That's all. That's all the game needs to be. January 3rd. Yep. Oh, see, 3rd of January. Well, yeah, I can accept the proper or the metric way of saying the date. Been playing the entire trilogy of Resident Evil and classic PlayStation games over the Christmas weekend. So when you say the entire trilogy, are you talking about the remakes 1, 2, and 3, or the original? And you said and classic PlayStation games, so it makes me think the original PlayStation games. Love retro and modern games. You know what? I'm kind of there too. Was it a couple weeks ago? I was streaming some modern stuff. I throw some modern stuff every now and again in here. I can play some. I have my Switch hooked up down here. I could switch over to that. Oh, and finally, just before the stream started, I finally hooked up my new HDMI switcher that has 5 inputs, so I can keep my Switch, Xbox, PS4, and Wii U all hooked up in case we want to do some more modern gaming. So definitely can do some more modern gaming as well. 2021 was not a bad year for gaming. That's kind of what I was hoping to prove, Chris, with my the 2021 year in review video that I did. That's what I was doing with that. That's really what I wanted to do with that video series. It was supposed to be one long video. The problem is I got sick. I couldn't speak because I had a sore throat. So I just started putting it out as soon as I can get it done. But yes, it'll be, just to let you know, there will be a break this week and next week. I don't plan to post any videos. I'll still stream, but there's not going to be another video this week because I just did 3 of them right in a row. And the videos I was planning on getting done, I was sick and I couldn't do anything with because I had a sore throat. I did do some capture footage and I did do some B-roll footage capture, but it's going to take me a little bit to get back on schedule, so I kind of want to try to get ahead these next couple weeks. It's just going to be brutal because I have esports going on and Scholastic Bowl, and I coach both of those, so it's going to be a busy time. Plus, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is the last semester that I will be teaching kids online, at least for now, until I find another job, because the virtual school I work for is actually closing down due to lack of funding. So it's been a good ride with them, and they've helped support a lot of things on this channel. But that's the only sad thing. But that's a 2022 news item. So, and that's the reason why I said I'll explain later. That's why I'm kind of out of money for the channel, because that second job was doing a lot of things. It was helping me pay on my student loans, and anything extra was being spent on the channel. So I do get a lot of support from you guys through super chats. That's a good way to support the channel. Merch is another one. If you guys see the link in the description, see that transition, you guys didn't even notice I went into a commercial. And then I pointed out and ruined it all. And also Patreon has been amazing. You guys have actually bought what I'm streaming with here, the RetroTink 5X and the Neo SD cartridge was purchased with support from funds on Patreon, so I appreciate you guys on there as well. Open 2022 continues to be better. I'll say that a couple of times. Yes, Chris, I agree. Rest in peace, Betty White. She was, I forgot what somebody called her. America's grandma? Sounds right. But I think they said something else too. I've also, Jay Leno used to introduce her on The Tonight Show as America's sex kitten, which I thought was hilarious. And now America's sex kitten, Betty White. So, Betty White and Bob Barker is a first-person show. Ooh, you guys are giving me some ideas. Swap them out. You can have a male and female role, and then we'll throw Bruce in there for good measure. Got to be inclusive. Hey, Dante, welcome to the stream. Down October. I think did you tell me that before? There's somebody else who said that they lost a family member as well. 72 and a Marine. That is very sad, and that is definitely a reason to put 2021 behind us. Although the farther we get away from 2021, though, that is sad that will also be the farther away we get from. Sounds like a good guy. My dad had hip surgery just a couple weeks ago, and that's one of the things I was trying to keep in mind. There's been so many brushes with death that I've personally had, my dad has had, and we've just had my family. My mom had a cancer scare earlier last year. I mean, it's getting up there in terms of don't want to mellow out the mood here, but it's always good to share and keep the memory alive. Barker is still alive, yes. You put at the moment. Why'd you have to put at the moment? He also was an animal rights advocate, so it goes perfectly. Bob Barker, though, doesn't use machine guns. He uses his fists. Happy Gilmore style. Like, Joe Exotic, I think you've had enough. B word. Just goes boom, boom, boom. Anyway. Yes, you guys see how slow I'm moving? You could easily dodge that. It was almost like in slow motion. I saw it in the replay in the camera. Anyway. What you mean by playing the entire trilogy of Resident Evil games is you're playing them on PS1, PS3, and PS4 Pro. Holy cow. That is a trilogy. Oh, you might find this interesting. I don't know. Do you prefer Brandon, Albert, or do you just want me to say Wesker, or just Infamous? I'm gonna go with Infamous for now until you tell me different. But you may find this interesting. I actually just imported the Biohazard HD game that was exclusive to Japan, which is Biohazard is what Resident Evil was called in Japan. So Biohazard HD on disc was exclusive in Japan for the PS3. I actually just imported that. I thought so. That's why I said Infamous seems right to me. Since we're talking about PlayStation anyway. And I just tried... I had no idea. Maybe I was intentionally ignorant of this fact. But I should have known something about... what am I trying to think of? Sucker Punch Studios that made Infamous, the game. I'll keep going here and I'll come back to the chat here in a second. I had no idea that they were the people who published Ghost of Tsushima. Or Tsushima. I don't know exactly. I say Tsushima because that's who the YouTuber who I heard all about it from, that's how he pronounced it. But in the game, they pronounce it Tsushima. So I'll say it more slowly, Tsushima. I don't know what's going on here. Let's go ahead and waste that for no reason. Oops. If you guys see me just jumping around the screen, just know I got confused on where my hand was on the controller. That will happen a lot because I lose... As I said, eventually I will lose all feeling on my hand while playing this game. Never seen insects that could drive motorcycles, but this is Mutation Nation. There we go. Oh. Okay, these little bee things explode. I was gonna say, if I don't do that, we're gonna spend 20 minutes just trying to defeat these guys. Ooh. That's great. Let's put some enemies on rollerblades. I don't think these oh gee. On rocket rollerblades. Oh, did you guys see we have some parallax scrolling going on here? It's not real parallax scrolling in the sense they're simulating it with sprites. They're probably using the... Whoops. Was that it? I think that's it. Yeah, let's save. What am I going to save over? You think I'm going to play Sengoku? King of Fighters SGL. I'm not going to play 8-man anytime soon. Let's just do that. Game over. That's pretty intense. That's kind of a weak playthrough. I didn't realize how close I was to not making it through that game. Okay, and PS5. So you did get a PS5, Infamous? Oh, I see, Pizza Boy. I forgot about that too. You did mention that. I remember that. Lost your grandmother in January of 2021. Yeah, because I had just lost mine, I think, a year and a half prior to you. it's always one of those things when I can make a personal connection with what people tell me, I can get a pretty good memory on certain things. But otherwise, it's time and location, or dates, locations, and names. I'm a history. The way I describe myself when I was teaching is I'm a history teacher that can't remember dates, names, or locations. So that's what I would. That's seriously. I actually mentioned that in my job interview when I got hired, and I think it's because, as history teachers, I don't want to go on that rampage for too long, but as history teachers, I think that history is more than just memorizing dates, names, and locations. So, he used to give away a car in the game and blow it up. Like, you've just won a Tomahawk missile aimed right at your direction. Come on down. You know what's funny is I heard Bob Barker like it is later like took offense to people thinking that he said, "Come on down." He said, I never said that. It was always the announcer that said that. So when he came back for like his 90th birthday, he said one of the reasons why he came back is that he wanted to say it at least once. So he's like, and he said that when he did it. Like there was a whole thing behind the scenes about it. It's very interesting. Then again, do you think that if Bob Barker, let's say he was well enough and alive enough, I say that because he's old, what if he was still the host? Do you think he would have been canceled by now? Because he had accusations of sexual harassment all the time against the female models in that show, and it was always quietly buried. Now I don't want to say that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm just saying, in today's climate, do you think he could honestly sustain being the host of that show with all that stuff going on behind the scenes? Have all the rest of the... You have all the Resident Evil Japan import games on your PS3, yeah. So that's why I said you may find it interesting. That's the only one I've imported is Biohazard HD. And I haven't played it yet, that's the thing. I will go through and play it eventually, but I got them all in, and now I have to play them, and I'm going to do a video on them, so that's why I'm saving the experience for that. Betty White has to use a password in the game somehow. Ooh, that's a good thing. She can give you the password screen to continue. You guys see this game's writing itself. Bob and Betty's. Bob and Betty. There's got to be another B word. That stands for... Betty's part would be a first-person shooter. I mean, Bob's Boxing. We got that. Oh, Bob and Betty's Beat 'em Up? No, it's got to be something else. We'll come up with something for that. So, your average history teacher? Thanks, T.I. Kyle. Thank you. Johnny Olsen, and yes, Roddy. Speaking for the price is right. Oh, yeah, with his flamboyant jackets that he used to wear. Stolen right out of, like, the Johnny Carson show. Didn't his band leader in that one wear the weird outfits? Who's the announcer now? Is it George Gray? Is he still the announcer, or did he get replaced? Bob and Betty, the amazing duo. I like that, but it doesn't have the bus sound. I'm looking for a Bob and Betty's something about animal control. Bamimal control? No, it's got to have a B in it. Oh, sorry, I messed up a comment here. Or I missed a comment here. Bob Barker was the legend in the show. Oh, yes, absolutely. He spent 35 years hosting that show. A little over 35 years hosting that show. 50-year career hosting game shows all together. Being held accountable for jacked up stuff is not really being canceled. Called what's supposed to happen. Right. Well, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. I'm saying he got away with it for so long. And there's no question. He was flirting around with the female model. He was also floating around with like other people who work backstage on the show. Like it's documented. And Bob Barker has admitted to some of it. I don't want to say exactly. Like it's been years. I read his autobiography, but I also read the book that oh, I can't remember if it was ghost written by someone or if it was actually written by the model. Um, but I also read that too because I was fascinated about the whole thing. I'm like, really? Because you get this idea of people who are on TV, and that's part of the thing about it, right? I like it, Adrian. You got the whole thing going on there. Hold on. I missed some comments here. Well, I appreciate that, Future Cop. Like I said, I always say this. I'm not always saying the only way to support this channel is through monetary reasons. The best way to support this show is, number one, if you haven't already, don't forget to like the stream. I always forget to say that. But liking, subscribing, and just viewing content really helps the show. But if you guys want to give a little something extra, definitely Patreon has been the best way to go. That seems to be the one where I get the most out of it. I do get money from super chats as well, though. Merch is another way to do it. I like the merch option just because I always feel like I was accepting donations beforehand, and now I feel like you guys are getting something out of it too, other than the videos. So appreciate that, Future Cop. Roddy died. Yes, he died of breast cancer, which is rare for men. It actually concerned me because I'm an overweight guy, and technically I'm kind of at risk for breast cancer almost as much as, I mean, especially more as I get older. Gotti Jr., welcome. What up is what your comment is, but I was going to combine that to what up with the stream. Welcome to the stream, and what up to you. Happy New Year. If you wonder about Chris's comment about Bob and Betty's animal abuser, is we've been talking about, I said, it all started, I said if I ever made a video game, I did say, it's got to be Betty White with a machine gun. That's how it started. And then someone said Bob Barker's still alive, and I said, oh, we can put him in the video game, but his is going to be beat-em-up moves, like in a Happy Gilmore. So that's turned down to Bob and Betty's battering pack animals. I don't think they would like the battering pack animals. I'm just nitpicking, Adrian, because I think they want it to be like battering the people and not the animals. And if you're going to get rights to their names, we're going to have to settle that out. Bob doesn't kill people, he just neuters them. That's what the thing's got to be. You just see him reach out, grab, and just yank off, and that's it. It's not more disturbing than the game I just played. I'm going to get banned. Bob and Betty against animal abuse. And we're going to get you. I remember seeing some of those models. Oh, yes, they were, Gotti. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you're a little boy, but that's the other thing too that I thought was kind of strange. I didn't think it was odd at all. I heard some of the people who are older than me complaining that when they added a male model in, I actually thought to myself, yeah, why didn't they ever have male models on there? Because think about it. Most of the people, and this is maybe an inaccurate statement, but I would think college kids and people who are at home during a weekday. I mean, there's a female audience to be had there. I kept thinking, I actually thought as a kid it was weird they didn't have any male models on there. Not that that's what I want to see. I mean, it's like, for me, it's like looking in a mirror, so. That's what I like about Mike Myers' character. I'm rich and I'm dead sexy. Not quite rich, but I got the second part. Apparently, I'd rather be dead sexy than rich. All right, let's see what else I got to do here. Mutation Nation was the last one I did. Let's see what the next game I got to play is. Already did that one. Already did that one. I've not done this. Wait. Yeah, I only caught the opening to this. I'm not that good at this game is the issue. We'll go ahead and try it. Let this load up as I'm doing this. Ooh, I like that, Future Cap. Let me go back here. I mean, flirting with anything consensual is cool, yes, as long as it doesn't hold their jobs over it. I kind of think that's, at least in the case that got very popular and got a lot of headlines in the 90s, I think that was the case with her. Like, I think he let her go, and then she filed suit because it was affecting the job. And there's no doubt that pretty much he did. I mean, they settled it out of court, if I remember correctly. It's been, I don't want to quote all this stuff with rumors because it's been so long since I've read all this stuff. But if I'm right, I'm pretty sure he was in the wrong. And I'm not just saying that in terms of whatever rights or whatever. Legally, I think he was in the wrong. And I think it was very easily proven back then. I mean, everyone knew what was going on behind the scenes. And that's part of the sad thing is it takes a lot of people to actually go up and stand up for people. I just put in Neo Bomberman, which is an MVS exclusive title, actually. There we go. Look at that animation.
Ready, go.
But anyway, Future Cop, I was reading your Bob and Betty's Wildlife Bonanza. I like it. Just I'm really on there's another word I'm trying to think of that starts with a B. Or you can have an inspired character and just use their last names. Barker White. That could be a person's name. And I think your game is going to be rated M. Oh, of course. Especially with the neutering. He doesn't neuter animals in this game, he neuters people. Weird things coming. Let me go back here to Infamous. Says he really loves your PS5 disc version that you got from the Sony Invitation. Oh, really? That's nice that you got that. I do have the disc-based version as well. Wouldn't trade a disc-based console for anything in the world. The main thing is you cannot be a bargain hunter without physical media. I'm not going to be able to play this game this long, by the way. This is already much longer than I can play the game. We'll see how far I get. No one wants a male model, Gotti. You gotta wake up to the times. Hey, you know what? And I can say this. I am secure enough in my own beliefs that I can say. My thing is, if it helps you sell, why not? Because sex sells. Sorry if I'm breaking the news to anyone out there, but sex sells, which is why why the media, commercials, TV shows, and all this stuff have gotten so controversial because they use it constantly as a sales tactic. And when all this stuff came out of the woodwork, I guess, got that on there. You're gonna file a lawsuit with PETA or WWF if you release that game. Why? We're trying to help. We're trying to help protect animals. You know, I heard there was a question that we got on Fibbage the other day that said something about. Oh, what am I trying to think of? PETA actually suggested that the people in Puxatawny, the actual Puxatawny groundhog that they use to predict the weather, they suggested that they replace the groundhog with and the question was with a blank. Does anyone know the answer to that question? What PETA suggested they should use instead of a groundhog for Groundhog's Day? So one of the lies that I put was a person. I was like, oh yeah, they should have a person up there, then they'll see how it is. I'm watching this and I'm like, this. Oh well, I guess it's. Nope, it's only one player. How do you catch that? I didn't even know that was a possibility. Please help control the pet abusers. Have them spayed or neutered. You know, I did see they just passed some legislation either here in Illinois or nationally to crack down and actually make it basically raising the penalty against animal abusers. I think they raised it up to a felony level, to where if it's kind of like if you intentionally kill a pet, or, you know, like a dog or cat or anything like that, or abuse them, it could be a felony charge against you. And I think right now it's just labeled at misdemeanor. You know, obviously huge red flag if people are torturing and killing animals. That's never a good sign for a person anyway. It actually is a sign of a serial killer. I've heard that made fun of before. Then let's get off this topic. I feel like 2021 put us in a bad mood. 2022 is going to be better. We're going to have the Bob and Betty something bashers. I'm thinking of like Bob and Betty bashing. What's a B word for animal abuse? See, and I'm back onto it. Been collecting physical games since the 90s. As a kid, since you got your first PS1 console. That's nice. Same with me. Collecting physical titles ever since the NES. Which is what got me into retro collecting to begin with, when NES games were 99 cents a piece. PS1 games never got down that far. I think PS1 games have been the cheapest, were like $1.99 a piece. And then PS2 games, $2.99 a piece. PS3 games, $3.99 a piece. And PS4 games, well, I don't think we'll ever see that low. Because $1.99 became the new 99 cents. Or I'm sorry, $1.25 has become the new 99 cents, right? Thanks to inflation. You've been collecting since the Atari 2600, I see, Pizza Boy? Oops. That on, so I can actually play it. Alright, bomb set. Walk away. Good. I got that kick. Using the same button. You have 4 buttons. You're going to use the same button for... I don't like that. I don't like that they're using the same button for everything. Hey, Jeff. Welcome to the stream. Hang on a second. I gotta take on the computer for a tournament if you want to play alone. If you have the battle. Let's just play 5 stages. Let's do the story mode. I'll pause this as soon as I can to read your comment. Was there a difficulty screen I missed? Nope, because there's no AES version for this. There we go. Pause. Alright, good evening, my man. Sorry, I've been busy. Started that special ed job. Oh, gotcha. Haven't been able to check in for a while. Yeah, that'll keep you busy. Hope you had a great Christmas and even better New Year's. I appreciate that, Jeff. You too. Happy New Year. And Merry Christmas still, since I haven't seen you. I was going to ask, have you had time for gaming? $2 for a giant box of games. Oh, yes. For the Atari 2600. I think even still, a lot of people still think that the Atari 2600, at least non-collectors, I guess, still find the Atari 2600 games to be not worth anything. But if you have GameCube, PS2 or anything, they're going to charge way too much for it. Change the topic, please. No Betty White or anything like that. Yeah, sorry. That's why I said this whole stream took a dark turn for some reason. Actually, PS1, PS2, PS3, and GameCube have been skyrocketing in price. Yes, that's what I said. It's but part of it is I only dropped 1 bomb yet. The good news is I always try to be productive. The bad news is I can't always be. That's just going to do the same thing again. Oh no, he walked backwards. Will that bomb let me do 2 bombs at once? Yes, it will. That's what I want. And now I can walk faster. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry up. Ooh, that was close. Oh, I forgot there's a timer counting down. That's what I said. I'm not going to be as good at this game as the computer is. Where is the exit? Do I have to kill all the enemies before I get to the exit? How do I get there? Yeah, I have to kill all the enemies before the exit will open. Okay, well, surprisingly, I made it through the first stage. I told you, I'm not that good at Bomberman. Oh yes, exclusive MVS and exclusive to Japan. Alright, we'll pause that for a second. Get back to the chat here. See what other topics we've come up here. Nope. Oh yeah, that'd frustrate me too. Have I ever finished Adventure on the 2600? Ooh, finished? No, but I've seen the ending. It takes a lot of time and patience to get the ending on Adventure. Same thing with Indiana Jones. I tried to finish Indiana Jones. I just couldn't get through it. Infamous asks, where did I get my Neo Geo console? Never seen one in person. I will briefly describe to you that it was a retro game store, and yes, I had never seen one in person either. And when I saw them posted online, I immediately stopped what I was doing and drove 30 minutes to the store, and thankfully it was still there. I made him test it out in the store, and I did do a video about when I got it. There it is. So let me just share a link, and let's put it in there. There you go. That's the video that shows when I got my Neo Geo. It more or less shows me trying it out for the first time, because for some reason I lost the footage of me getting it. Would love to watch that. Please let me know if you decide to go on an adventure. I will try. I haven't been back to the Atari in a while on stream. Of course, most of my experience with the Atari on stream has to be emulated. Yes, it is a great system, but it is, if you don't have the money, it is a huge, it's a money sinkhole. That's what I said. If I didn't have that second job for virtual teaching, wouldn't have been able to afford Game 1. Would have had to wait till I got the Neo SD. Alright. Oh. Okay. Ah. See? That's what happens. And now I can only plant one bomb at a time, right? Oh no. Thankfully, this is a more progressive bomber. Of course. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. I don't know what that... What? You can definitely tell this was designed to eat as many quarters as possible. Yeah, I'm trying to move. What? This thing is intentionally too picky. There we go. How did that not kill that guy? Whoops, did not mean to do that. I thought right after, yep, right after I moved out of the way, I'm like, I should have. Okay, so I can't kill that person, but he can kill me. Because, you know, that is how real life is, right? Oops. I was stuck between a gingerbread man and a hard place. There, we got him. What? He's still alive? I got him. This thing's eating my quarters like no other. Okay, so the other guy just killed him for me. Oh, I should have grabbed that other bomb. Told you. Not very good at Bomberman. Once. Then again. Okay, so I just have to hit him twice. So it's not all complete crap. Yep. Kinda got myself there. That is, I can almost never know. I gotta remember not to backtrack too far, because I keep killing myself. Of course you avoided that. Avoid that. Forever. Gotcha. Ah! Still got me. Guess I will continue. Hopefully I get unlimited continues. Because I'm going to need them. If I remember correctly, too, it was like, I can't go through that way. I have to go around the other way to grab it. I thought the more of these that you unlock, like the more bonus items you would get, like more bombs or... Apparently not. Nope. Nothing special. Made it to 1-4. This is a lot farther than I thought I'd ever make it, so... Pause here and see what the chat's doing. How much does the Neo Geo console go for? Really curious, also a gamer. So I got mine specifically just kind of because I had a lot of store credit built up on that store. So let me see what it's going for now. It's been a couple years. And I should note, mine is the Japanese console, which is cheaper. But it also means you have to be mindful of the power supply, because it doesn't take... It only takes 100 volts instead of 120 here in the US. And is it called a console here? Nope. Is it called a system? There it is. The Neo Geo AES system, loose, Japanese model, says the price guide is $366. That's loose. That's just with a controller, power supply, and the console. I bet you on eBay right now they probably are selling just the console for that price. And if you want a controller and the power supply, it's probably $500 is what they're listing it for. Yep, the last one sold in October. They don't sell very often. They're not, like, rare enough to where you won't be able to find one if you tried to look online, but they are rare enough to where you won't be able to afford one. The American AES is $733 according to the price guide. They're expensive. I got mine for a little under $200. And that's, again, due to the Yeah. It is really expensive. The games themselves are at least $100 a piece. And when I say at least, I mean you better be prepared to shell out $300 to $400 a piece. And you have to make sure, if you're going to go that route and buy the actual games, there's a lot of bootleg games out there. Tons of them. It's been plaguing the system its entire life. So there are years and years and years of bootleg games out for the AES. They'll work, but they're not genuine titles. Yeah, check it out on eBay, and it is very expensive. Console's already expensive, the game also expensive, yep. Try to buy the Japanese version because it's cheaper than the US version. Now, if I had to recommend somebody to collect any of them, Neo Geo CD is the way to go. The CD-Z is the optimal console to get because of the load times being very low, but the game pricing and the console pricing on the Neo Geo CD is so much less, and it's the same hardware. It's just, instead of cartridges, they use CDs. I'm going to take a quick break, guys, to use the restroom, but I will be right back. So keep it up in the chat, and I will see you all in just a little bit. Don't forget to leave a like before I forget to say it again. starting up with a new game now. And Chris, I was reading through the comments right when I sat back down. I am shocked that's what the CDZ is going for now. It was not that expensive 2 years ago. Probably the last time I looked up all those pricing. I'm looking at the historical guide. Yeah, it wasn't even that. According to this price tracker that I use, it wasn't even that throughout most of 2021. It should be close to, yeah, but it doesn't sell that. Well, they don't have as many listings in here. It says one of them in 2020 sold for $199. That seems about right. But yeah, the latest ones here are selling for about $300 to $400 a piece. You're right about that for the minimum. They're selling even higher than that. That is shocking. Yeah, I couldn't afford that, to be quite honest with you. The only reason why most of the games that I own here were also on sale in that store, and so they were like $40 to $80 a piece. Now, that's still a lot of money, but again, like I said, I had a lot of store credit built up there because I traded in a whole bunch of extra games that I found. A lot of stuff that I collected over the last couple of years has been funded by all of the games that I bought from those video game stores that were closing. I bought a whole bunch of them, even games I already owned. I sold off the ones I already had on eBay, and I made a nice profit off of it to be able to afford some of the systems that I got. One of the things that I bought with that profit was this Neo Geo. Wouldn't have been able to afford it otherwise. My goal is to try to get this to be like a self-sustaining hobby. Mitsubishi sponsored this? That's interesting. So this is called Neo Drift Out, I think it's called. Should have been paying more attention. That might be the title. It might be a word off. Neo, yeah, Drift Out. New technology. And this is from Visco. Oh, they use the scaling in there a little bit. Yeah, so in that case, Brandon, if it's the same price to get a CDZ than it is to get a Neo Geo AES Japanese system, here's what I'd recommend, and this is probably not going to be something you can afford easily. Any of us could afford easily. I'm not trying to point out just any specific person. Wait till you can find a decent deal on an AES console, buy that, and then do what I did. This was partially purchased with funds from Patreon. We kind of went half and half on it. This is called the Neo SD. This is the box for it. And what it is there's an archive on archive.org. There is a ROM archive of all of these games. A lot of them have been, I don't want to say they're public domain, but basically you can get them from there. Load up this cartridge with all the games and then just play them. All in all, I think if I didn't have any discounts with this, they were charging $350 for the console, which even back then I thought that was a great deal back then, even though that's about what it's selling for now. They wanted to charge $350. It was complete working order, didn't need any restoration, and it came with the power supply, the controller, the cables, and it had a warranty on it, a 6-month warranty in case anything did go bad. I could return it. I was never going to return this, though. I was going to try to fix it if it didn't work. And this cartridge itself was about $500 and some odd dollars. So for around $800, you can get every game on the AES and get... Basically, here's the way I look at it. This is an arcade system. So it's like buying it's cheaper than buying an arcade system. That's how I looked at it. That's how I was able to justify the cost to myself. But if I was going to buy it just as like another home console, it is expensive. I did buy some games for it. I have about 30 or so games for the Neo Geo that are actual physical cartridges. But yeah, I definitely feel like that would be the way to go. If the Neo Geo CD is now the same price, the games are cheaper to collect for it, but the overall cheapest solution, I mean, is emulation, first off, But the overall cheapest solution to get original hardware is just then get the AES. Mine, again, came with one controller. I bought another custom-made controller online, and it works okay. Sometimes it doesn't want to work, though. It's based off of the CD, so it's more of a handheld controller. I don't use it because it doesn't always work. I don't know if it's because of the games that I'm using on it, if it's because of the AES stuff. I also have an MVS converter cartridge that works, but the 151 and 1 cart that I bought also kind of doesn't work, so yeah, no problem. The cheapest solution would probably be to get one of those multi-carts. Those are only about a couple $100s. But what I like about the Neo SD is if somebody comes out with a homebrew title, or if there's a title that's not on the cart, I can add it to it. So no, that was not productive, so that's going to happen again here in a second. The console is expensive. Yes, Chris, that's exactly right. Yeah, sorry, I go off on a rambit on the... I'm not trying to... I'm trying to explain it to everybody, not just one person, and I'm not trying to treat anybody as being stupid. And maybe the way my thought process is, I don't think of everything to say, or I may say something wrong. So I try to be careful about when I give that kind of advice, because people, like I said, I like to be as accurate as possible. And now that I've had a lot of time to get to know the system, this has been my main retro gaming experience for the last, like, 4 or 5 months. It's been awesome. I really enjoy it. It's not the experience I thought I would have, because obviously, if you're going for real cartridges, it's going to be an experience. So this is what happens is I get into a coughing fit for a while, nothing comes out of it, and then eventually I'll just clear my throat, and I'll be fine. So sorry about that. Alright, let's go ahead and get this game started. This may be the last game of the night. I usually stream for about 3 hours, but because I'm still recovering and the fatigue's getting to me, this could be the last game I try tonight. I know last time when I was streaming I should have stopped well before when I did. I was suffering that night. Easy. Oh yeah, and the Neo SD cart allows you to bypass the BIOS settings. So you don't have to mod your console if you get the SD cart in order to play the Japanese versions of games in English. There's a lot. The Neo Geo is probably one of the most complicated platforms in terms of real hardware collecting and everything that you need to do, because of how complicated the hardware was back in the day. We're just going to go with the AAA. Sometimes I notice when I type that in, it changes my name to SNK. I don't know if that's just... Interesting. I can drive a Toyota Celica. What is that? Is that a Nissan? Mitsubishi Lancer. That's what I get. I'm going to go with the Mitsubishi because there was a Mitsubishi plant that my dad worked at for years. Before he got laid off. They eventually shut that plant down. Neo Geo emulation heart. Yeah, there's a lot. And then, like I said, if you just want to play the games, Nintendo Switch has a bunch of them just for individual sale. But there's compilations out there, too, for some of these. Like I said, some people were talking about, ooh. So, yeah, I would prefer 3D rather than this kind of style. Because you know what this reminds me? Try next stage. This reminds me of something Buggies on the Intellivision. That isometric perspective. Okay, well, I guess I did go on the practice stage. Can you play this 2-player? You'll find out that most of the games on the system are multiplayer because they wanted more quarters from you. And they did not really do much to... They didn't do much to convert them to the home. All they did was just limit the amount of credits you can use. And, oh, there was a shortcut. And that's about it. Otherwise, the games are almost exactly like they played in the arcade. Oops. Should have been paying attention. This game's actually kind of fun. I usually don't like isometric perspective racing games like this, but it's not terrible. I will say the zooming action is neat, and it's something I would have preferred in the arcades. Makes it look more graphically impressive. There we go. Well, I just barely made that in time. But I don't like how it restricts my field of view. Oh, I just barely made the top 10. Interesting. Saw some comments on there. Let's see if it'll let me pause. There we go. I appreciate that, Infamous. I really do. I'd really love your channel and videos and live stream. I appreciate that. You guys are going to make me blush. Besides Toyota, that is Subaru. Thank you. I knew somebody would correct me on it. I'm a casual car fan, only in the respect that my dad and my brother are huge car fans. So the only things I know about cars are whatever I've learned through osmosis from them. Plus, I do have kind of like that mechanical engineering kind of mindset, which I apply mostly to computers. Oh gosh, I do like that they warn you what kind of turn's coming up. Hopefully that was a shortcut. Oh, okay. I guess they didn't want me taking that shortcut. Yeah, I don't think that's a shortcut. I think that's, I'm gonna run out of time. Oh, -1. Time over. You're retired. Interesting. Yeah, I'll try that again. Let's go away from that. Let's go with the Toyota. I like the speed on this one. The speed on the Mitsubishi wasn't that good. Kind of like this more than Forza, Damon says. Welcome to the stream, Damon. Happy New Year. I've been asking what people have been playing over the holiday season. Oh, wow. Okay, the speed is definitely a thing. But the structural integrity, I can't play bumper cars with this as much as I was. I have yet to use the brake. Probably something I should be doing. Yeah, I'm not going to make that tight corner. Ooh. Okay. That's why it took me so long. I took the shortcut back away from the track, which is why I lost time. Okay, I have higher speed, but man. Less control. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this race, but we'll see. Half it is mindset. You believe it, you can achieve it. Or as Doc Brown said, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And Doc Brown never played this game. Oh, by 1 second. Oh, that was progress. I don't really care to grind on this one, but you guys get the idea. That's an interesting game. I like it better than the, actually better than the Riding Hero game. If you guys saw me play that in the original, try using the Subaru. I'll do the practice thing with the Subaru. Yeah, sure, I'll save. Gosh, what do I want to save? I'm trying to save over all my fighting game saves. Galaxy Fight Arena? No, I'll keep that going. Ninja Combat. King of Fighters 98. I actually like that one. Metal Slug 3 on here twice. No, that was most. SVC Chaos. We can override that. I didn't really care for SNK versus Capcom on here. It was okay. It was more of a generic fighter than I was expecting. Alright. Options. Again, we're going with the easiest. See? Right there. More productive than all that coughing I did earlier. Do a data load, yes. Hopefully it'll let me continue from where I left off. So you said do this one? Okay. I mean, basically, it's like the Mario Kart. The Mario Kart of Mario Kart. Or Mario's Kart. The Kart of Mario in Mario Kart. There we go. Alright. Okay. This game is, in essence, though, it's a reflex challenge. That's really all this game is. Those are games that I try to point out when that's all it is. I'm sliding all over the place. Okay, that's the shortcut I don't want to take this time. Ooh. Now the problem is, without the speed, every mistake I make... Oh, I made it to the checkpoint. But now I have the same amount of time I had last time and less speed. We'll see. I don't corner too well. Nope. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Look at that. That's the problem I had with the Intellivision buggy one, is when you hit, it spins you around, so that if you make the slightest mistake where you hit a corner, that's pretty much it. Man, the bot is back.
3, 2, 1, 0.
It's not letting me... There we go. There we go. Finally got rid of it. That took me a few more clicks than I'm used to. There, I was doing with the bot, so I couldn't go back and try that again. And it's still trying. Well, I hate to say it, but I think that was my last game for tonight. Because I'm out of water and I'm coughing a lot more. Thanks to the using of my voice a little bit. Let's check up on the comments here a little bit before we go. POG. Let me see here. GTA is your favorite car game at the moment. The end of the year played Pokemon Unbound, a Pokemon ROM hack, and a good one. Interesting, Chris. You always find the ROM hacks that I find interesting. But it may interest some of you to know I have never played a Pokemon game. Like, not even powered one on. I own a couple of them. I own Pokemon Gold for Game Boy, but I've never powered it on. Never tried it. It's not that I'm against them, it's just... I have other games to play that I'd like to play. There's a lot of games that are classics that I should be playing but haven't. Having a blast, almost finishing Medieval. You see the game on a lot of best of lists, but I think it's... Oh, well, not... You see the game on a lot of best of lists, but I think it's underrated. Okay. Are you talking about Medieval for the PlayStation or the remake that they did on PS4? Because I played them both. I agree, it's a great game. Either way. Again, I appreciate that, Infamous. Really dig the name. Yeah, I appreciate that as well. Like I said, it describes what I do. That's the way I put it. Genre retrospectives would make a good series, just saying. Enduro to Forza. Oh, doing, like, yeah. Well, that would also be a lot of work, Damon. I don't have that much footage captured. That sounds like something I could do way in the future when I've already captured almost every game in a genre. It'd be fun to make, I agree. So, but I'll put that on the back burner as if I get all the time in the world. If I did this full time, I could definitely knock out videos like that. The problem is the amount of time, because I'm the one who's capturing all the video footage, and then I have to script it, and then I have to edit it and make it, and hopefully make it cohesive for you guys. But I could definitely see myself getting into something like that, so I appreciate the suggestion. Enduro to Forza. I would go back to, you guys remember that car racing game that was a mechanical arcade game? Do you guys remember that? I would start with those kind of games, or even go with electrical bumper cars. That's how far back I'd want to go. Oh, I see Pizza Boy. I saw that. Sorry. If you're watching this later on, or if you already had it out, sorry about that. Gotta watch Raw to find out your Raw storyline. So appreciate you stopping in tonight. Only 3 cars in this game. I don't know if you can unlock later or not. I would have to do some research. This is the first time I played this game. It was interesting. If you want to play Pokemon, I can be your teacher. You guys remember Ryan, who's been on the stream twice now? He's the Pokemon guy. He could definitely walk me through it as well. So maybe we'll do that next time he's on here. I'll try a Pokemon. I'll hook up the Super Game Boy and we can try that out. Really enjoy being a new subscriber on your awesome, amazing channel. Seriously, if you guys do that, my head's going to get too big and I won't be able to fit in the doorway to get down here anymore. Thank you so much. That's all I can do. I can just keep saying thank you. And yes, Chris is right. It's... Welcome to the community. I think you'll be quite happy that you found us. A lot of work. Hey, you know, that's the thing. I said it'd be a lot of work. It'd be a lot of fun, too. I don't know. The problem is, yeah, just the problem with that is I just don't have the amount of game footage captured. I would need to find a lot more. I would just need to find a lot of game footage for that. Also a Pokemon guy. Oh, I'm sure you and that, it's... Oh, I used to have my Game Boy binder sitting right next to me, but I don't anymore. I was going to pull it out and say I have it. I'm glad, too. Actually, Infamous, I was asking, was I a recommendation, or were you looking for something and my channel just popped up in your search results? Like, that's something I'd be interested in learning, just because that is kind of the big thing when people do find my channel. It's always like, oh, I was looking for a video topic, and then there's been very few times when YouTube's just recommended it to people. So... How am I at Space Invaders? I'm not bad at Space Invaders. I would probably have... I mean, I have to warm up on it a little bit before I get better at it, but I'm okay at Space Invaders. It's one of the arcade machines that I have. Jeff, though, you are more of the old school. Like, this is retro, but you're on old school. I should come up with my own things for that. Old school gaming is Atari... Anything before Nintendo. Retro is Nintendo to PlayStation. PS1. Nintendo to N64. And then, I guess I'm going to start calling it modern retro. But, or 3D retro. There we go. The GameCube is definitely retro. So is the PS2 and the Xbox. They're retro. And the reason why I say that is, we were calling Nintendo NES games retro when the Xbox and PS2 came out. And I already said this, the NES was 15 to 16 years old when those systems were being released. And the GameCube is 21 years old this year. Just turned 20. So did the Xbox. So they gotta be retro now. And the way that I describe it is, when the people who grew up with those consoles when they were 8 or 9... When they have a job, when they have expendable income or kids that they want to start buying their childhood systems again, that's when it becomes retro. And that's when it becomes kind of a thing on there. That's Ryan Yablo. It is not Ryan Yablo. It's Ryan, I don't know if he wants me to say his last name on here, but it's the Ryan that streams with me sometimes, physically in here. His last name's not Yablo. His last name starts with... I'll just leave it at that. The Ryan I streamed with in person. And that's because I don't know if he wants me to say his last name or not. Happen to run into your channel on YouTube recommendations. Okay, that's awesome. I'm glad to see that they're finally starting to pick it up. Absolutely. I was trying to figure out how to say that, Jeff. If you saw the wheels of my brain working, I was looking at that word going, I know how to pronounce it. Absolutely. There we go. Again, another pause. I feel like a classic would be a better term for pre-NES games. Okay. Because, yeah, old school describes all this stuff. That's what I said. I was going to say true old school, but classic? I don't know, because there's the classic systems. Maybe that's what I start referring to, because there's an NES classic, a SNES classic. There's even a C64 mini, I guess. There's a Sega Genesis. I don't know if they call it a mini officially or a classic. Who knows? Oh, that, Ryan. Yeah, that's what I was saying, so. Lost money on Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and Centipede. Yep. I have all of the, except for Donkey Kong, I guess. I have Pac-Man and Centipede arcade machines here. The arcade 1-up ones, because of yes. Those are also ones that stole many of my quarters as a kid. But those were considered classics when I started going to the arcades. I was born just 5 years too late for the Atari. If I was born 5 years earlier, you would have heard me saying, oh, Atari was where it was at. Watched a lot of video game channels on YouTube. Oh, yeah. Definitely see, I don't always get a chance to watch other YouTubers, but there's a couple I started out with I still follow that are still doing stuff. One of them, if you see him in here sometimes, is T-Tech Trab. I just find his commentary is hilarious sometimes. I mean, his train of thought sometimes just fits my sense of humor too. So he also finds these games that I don't think I'd ever find myself playing. Gosh, I'm watching the computer play this, and I'm like, there's no way I'd be able to do that. Oh, I guess should jump over a lake at some point. Born in 74, Christmas 81, Linus Brothers, and received an Atari 2600. Was it called the 2600 then, or was it still called the VCS? On the chat stream? Yeah, I got you, Chris. Actually, out of all the ones that you mentioned, the only one I think I keep up on is probably Metal Jesus. Metal Jesus inspired a few things on this channel, but I try not to copy him. Born October 22nd in 92. That's not bad. We could have been, oh, sorry, you were too late for me to be in high school with me. I was born in 86. I graduated in 2004. You could have been in part of the first class I came back to teach. You graduate in 2010? Because I student taught in 2009, so... But I was already... I worked at McDonald's for a while. Fast food restaurant chain is what I usually tell people, but... I worked at McDonald's for a while, so I already knew a lot of kids that I was teaching because of that. Yeah, no judgment. That's what I like about this, is that we have people who follow... I have followers that are still in their teen years, and I have followers from around my age group before and after. It's just... Gaming unites. Gaming unites us all. Magnolia High School in 2011, so yep. That was my first year teaching, was 2010 to 2011. I guess I was doing a lot of substitute teaching that year. Didn't officially start a full-time teacher position until 2011, 2012. And yes, kids do find it strange when they finally get to see the, Yasness. That's what I said. It's just one of those things where I'm like, anybody else would have had that experience and they wouldn't have been what I call melodramatic about it. But seriously, all it would have taken is me not wearing my gloves or a slip of the hand and it would have been lights out. If that full current would have went through me, and I had a very opportune thing to do, that would have stopped my heart. And again, it was in my back driveway. There's an alley back there. My neighbors were all gone at that point in time, so if anything would have happened, I don't know. There's a police station about a block and a half away, but I don't think they cruise the back alley too much. So, yep, that's what I said. We got people in their teens. Adrian's on there. Yet to graduate from high school, but you like this stuff too. Although, what is retro to you, Adrian? Like, where do your retro... I want to hear this from the younger generation. Where do your retro passions lie? I know I said I was done streaming, and that was like 15, 20 minutes ago, but you guys keep piquing my interest. My throat is getting dry. I need to get some water. So that very much warms my heart to hear that. Thank you, Infamous. To hear, especially seeing all the other YouTubers that you mentioned on there, those are some impressive names. And the fact that I rank above that in your mind is astounding to me. I think that if anything, if this channel, like I said, if this channel takes off, I think it kind of has. I personally think it's a much bigger success than I ever anticipated just going off of it. But if anything, I will always hopefully stay humble. And that's when you say that, I'm humbled by that comment, because I really think, gosh, when I think back to the first people that started with me, that's one of the great things about small YouTubers, is when I first got started, I got in with a group of people who are also all starting. We're all trying to figure out what we're going to do on a channel, what kind of content we're going to post, and, you know, just where do we fit in? What kind of community do we want to grow? And just have fun with on there. I've had several people who just got into it just because they thought they were going to get instantly famous, instantly rich, and they'd never have to work again. And a lot of those people quit within 6 weeks. That was not surprising to me. What surprised me is there's another YouTuber who I, hands down, still to this day, think is 10 times better than me, especially at streaming. He could stream just the same game every time and always made it interesting. I don't know how to describe it. He was just very good. He's also a lot better at games than me, just in general. I guess if I had a lot of practice in it, I could probably compete, but never could top his skill level. And he went on for about 1.5 years and then gave it up. And I think it was at the urging of his wife, and he had a kid. I understand that, but he went down. I mean, he even went through the point of he's announced he sold off all of his streaming gear, so it's not even a possibility anymore. That shocked me. There have been several people who have been really good who just couldn't, for some reason or another, just couldn't keep up with it, decided it wasn't what they wanted, and that's what really surprised me. Like I said, I'm surprised I'm still going at it a bit, but I'm also surprised that people who I really hold in high regard, that, like I said, for one reason or another, couldn't do it. Not a reflection against them. I don't know if it's a reflection against me, but I always keep that in mind. Just like I said, it's amazing I get to do this, and I'm glad that you guys are finding some enjoyment out of it, because I sure as heck am enjoying it, so. Long rant over. PS1 started your gaming career into video games. Okay, so that's probably where you consider retro, Infamous. Adrian says, anything before the DS is retro to me, with the Game Boy Micro being very borderline. So GBA is also retro? I agree with, because it already looks retro to begin with. The GBA does. The GBA looked retro when it first came out. It was all calling back to the what do you call it? 16-bit era of gaming, even though it's a 32-bit system. Chris says, you have to graduate from school, university. Yep. So, like I said, it's a nice community. I'm glad that I'm teaching you young whippersnappers what gaming is like. Whatever you guys got today, that's not gaming. I could be an old crotchety gamer. No joke, I actually thought about that, because I'm not that old though. I'm only 35 is what I tell people, because the gray hair does throw people off, and the general demeanor, the old crotchety man that I am sometimes. Yep, your PS1 is retro, I agree. That's another system I grew up with. And what's funny is I love telling this story, if you haven't heard it yet, Infamous, is when it came down time, like, I had a Super Nintendo in 1991. My brother, for his birthday in 1994, got a Sega Genesis, and that was it. Those were my two gaming options up until 1999. I didn't get a PlayStation when it launched, or the year after, or the year after that, or the year after that. When everybody else for 4 years was either playing the N64 or the PlayStation 1, my most current gaming console was the Super Nintendo or the Genesis. And that's partially due to the fact that I always got hand-me-downs anyway. I'm the youngest out of my family. So that's kind of where my experience came from. And when it came time, when my parents said, all right, we're going to get you guys, they were basically going to get my brother a new gaming console because he had to have surgery where he would have to basically stay inside all summer. So they asked us, what do we want? My older brother was all about PlayStation 1. I want a PS1. That's where the future is. Nintendo's a kid's toy. I will never play it. And of course, I was the younger brother. I said, I want an N64. I want to keep playing Mario. I want to keep doing that. I wanted an N64. And so what did my parents do? PS1. Your brother's the one that's got to stay home, not you. So that's why they got him a PS1, because that's what he wanted. And I was never so happy to be proven wrong. I instantly knew when we got the PlayStation 1, it was a better decision for me at that time. And the first game we got was Need for Speed High Stakes, which was fun. But the first game I got was A Bug's Life. And of course I was younger, so I was probably, in 99? I would have been, too old to be buying A Bug's Life as my first game. I was 13. It took me a little bit to grow up, if you guys can't tell. So, where was I going with that story? Oh yeah, but the second game that I got, or the third game overall, was Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, and that's what I knew. Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, I made the best decision. When I played Mario 64 years later, I loved that game, all of those games, more than I like playing Mario 64 to this day. I'm not saying it's a better game, I'm saying my personal preferences. I enjoy those games better than Mario 64. That's just me. Obviously, Mario 64 is an iconic, groundbreaking title, set the standard for 3D platformers for years to come, invented so many things, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it as much. That's just my opinion. That nobody asked for. All right. I'll finish up with the comments here, and then I am going to get going. I got to get some grading done. One more semester, and then I'm done with the online teaching. Well, done with online teaching for the virtual school, anyway. Yeah, Chris, I'm not an N64 kid. Although, I wanted to be. I just wasn't. Love to go back in time and ask your dad for $600 to buy a Saturn. Damon, I wouldn't do that. I would actually, if I went back in time, I would ask for it in 1997, 1998. When they were discounting them like no other and wanted to get them out of the store, that was the time to ask for them. Don't spend $600 on one when you can just go back in time to later and buy it when they're on clearance. That's the time I would go back to. And that's the thing, too. In 1999, also that same year, I found a Sega Saturn at a garage sale. Somebody was getting rid of it because they had just upgraded to a Dreamcast. And they were selling off their Saturn and all of their games. They had like 60 to 70 complete in-box games. All of the games you would want for the Sega Saturn were in there. Except for maybe Panzer Dragoon Saga, because nobody bought that. He wanted a grand total of $35 for both the games, a RAM cartridge, the system, and 2 controllers. Sorry, I didn't say. For all the games, 2 controllers, system, everything, including the box. He wanted $35 back in 1999. And I had $30 on me. So, of course, I go and ask my dad, can I have $5 so that I can buy this system? And my dad said, no, you should have saved your money. I'm like, I saved up $30. I only need 5 more. I'll pay you 5. And he said, nope, you guys just got a system. You don't need another one. So I didn't get a Sega Saturn back then. But to this day, I will not let him live down how much it cost me to get. I only have like 50 games for the Saturn. And it's cost me so much more than $35 just for the system. Ballpark, what do I think that was worth today? Easily $3 to $4 grand. Have you seen the Sega Saturn collector's market? It is insanely inflated. That's been inflated for the last like 5 years. Let's see. Let's just see what the system complete in box is. Oh yeah, it had 3 controllers. One of them was the 3D controller. Because it came with Nights into Dreams, the full box edition. Oh, There's certain things that you remember about that. Like, I didn't know those games were going to be valuable at some point. I just thought $35 for a Saturn? Heck yeah, I'd like to try out a Sega Saturn. So, is it system or console? System? Nope. Here it is. That's the Japanese version. Here we go. A complete in-box Sega Saturn goes for $400. Because yes, I have the box from the PlayStation 1. I was keeping every box I could possibly keep. Although unfortunately I wasn't old enough to remember to keep any of the Super Nintendo boxes. Yep, I was a young dumb kid once too. $400 is what a complete in-box Sega. That's just the console. Now add in the controllers, the 60 complete in-box games. Oh yeah, you're talking oodles of money. First video game system was an Xbox 360. That's a good one to start with. The Xbox 360, I think, is still the best Xbox ever made. The Series X is coming up on it, but really, I think the Series X can be defined as the best game service ever made. I'll talk more about that next week since we get into it this week. But I have an issue with Game Pass. That's all I'll say for now. And it is completely my issue. It's not Game Pass doesn't have an issue. I have an issue with Game Pass. So we'll talk about that next week, though. I gotta let you guys go, finish up some work, and then we'll see you guys next week. No video this week since I just did 3, but I'll stream next week. No video next week because I'm trying to play catch up now since I was sick over my vacation break from work. And we'll get there. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. You guys had a lot of good comments in the stream tonight. Happy New Year. Have a great week. I will see you guys on the stream again next week. If you guys want, let me know in the comments after the stream is over, or even in here. Let me know if you want to see more Neo Geo stuff, or you want me to switch back to Super Nintendo. I'm only catching up on the Neo Geo stuff because I got that Ultimate Neo Geo review series going on, so trying to get that going. I like that I can talk and have the preview for the game keep going because it doesn't look as boring, does it? So yeah, it was great seeing you in the stream, Infinus. Hopefully you'll be able to make it back. I stream Mondays, usually starting at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time at the moment. But tonight I started an hour early, so if you're here around this same time next week, I should be streaming. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, and somebody asked me earlier, I don't know if I answered last week. My dad is doing well. He is off his walker, as I said. That's actually not as bad as it sounds. And his physical therapy is going well, so thanks for everyone who was sending good vibes, prayers, and good thoughts my way. My dad has definitely appreciated it. Thanks again. I will see you guys next time, and until then, play something retro, why don't you? Especially you too, Jeff. Have a great night, everyone.